balam sada me manasya virastam kimanyay idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nilair vratam kuntalai snigdha raktaischa gopya muhushchumbitam bimba raktadharam me manasya virastam alam lakshalabhe namo deva damodar ananta vishnu prasida prabho dukha jalabhimagnam Krupa drushti vrishiyati dinam vatanu gruhane shamam agnam idi yakshidrishiyai Kuveratmajavada murtyai vayadvat Tvaya mochito bhakti bhajau krutau cha Tatha prema bhaktim swakam me prayacha Namokshe graho me asti damodareha Namaste stu damne spuradipti damne Padiyodarayat vishvasya damne Namo radhikayai tvadiya priyayai Namo ananta leelaya devaya tubhyam Namam Ishwaram Satchit Ananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyo Khaladhavamanam Param Brushtamatyanta Todrutya Gopya Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Shri Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Gurudev 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. This is Damodar Sek, found in the Padma Puran of Krishna Dvapan Vyas, spoken by Satyavrat Muni in a conversation with Narad Muni and Shunaka Rishi. In the month of Kartik, one should worship Lord Damodar and daily recite the name prayer on Sri Damodar Sek, which has been spoken by the Satyavrat, which attracts Lord Damodar. This is from the Hari Bhakti Vilas, 16 verse 198. Okay, please read.
Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand.
No, the first one, please. The first one.
What? Number one, to the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokul, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances.
Number 2. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with ropes but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
Number 3. By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy and is revealing to those devotees who's absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence, that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and
is free.
Is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times.
Number 4. Oh Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours is Bal, Gopal, and Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart, for what is the use to me of any other boon besides this?
Okay.
O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimbo fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me.
O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodar, O Anand, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me by showering your glance of mercy upon me. Deliver this poor, ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes.
O Lord Damodar, just as 2 sons of Kuver, Manigriv and Nalkuvar, were delivered from the curse of Narad and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own Prem Bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation.
O Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes.
Shri Radha Damodar Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Kartik Maas ki jai. Shri Damodar Rasa ki jai. Shri Deepavali Mahotsav ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So I hope everybody is doing all right. All are doing well. Yeah, happy Diwali to everyone. Happy Diwali, Hare Krishna. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. We will have Diwali on Tuesday, as per our timings. So, but Diwali is already started, you know. The festivities are already on everywhere. This is very wonderful. And we have Diwali programs, you know, and every year we have Diwali program. And today also we're going to speak some on Diwali. We created a special sort of a program which will include Deepavali and Kartik, and also some nice pastime about how activities performed in Kartik and devotion can benefit us. And if time permitting, we will have also one very old, ancient bhajan by a very old and very famous Vaishnava poet. I'll give you more description if the time allows with it. So that's a program of today, bit action packed. So let us start with saying Shri Sitaram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman Ki Jai. Okay. Kartik Mas is very important month as Mas means month, And in this month, many and most important events take place of Krishna. And during Dasera, where Lord Ram killed Ravana, and from after killing Ravana, Diwali day is when he reached Ayodhya. And as he reached Ayodhya, well, along with his consort Sita Maya, Lakshman, Hanuman, and the whole entourage, all the inhabitants of Ayodhya celebrated a big event, big festival for him to come back. And on his honor. And it is that which happened during the Dwapar Yuga, which is still celebrated today. So this is the depth of Vedic culture and Sanatan Dharma, where especially we can know the exact date when things happened. And it also takes into account the days and the month. If you see that there are, in English calendar, it is 360 days, 365 days, and then there are some leap year comes in and all those things are there. And in the Vedic calendar, it comes with this leap year now. And there are extra months, which is called Purushottam months also. So it's very perfect in its way, how the Vedic calendar works. So those of us who follow the Vedic calendar, Vedic way of life, we are very fortunate. And that is how Lord Ram's appearance and coming back to Ayodhya, Diwali day, it actually happened the same day, Dwapar Yuga, about 2 million years ago. So Lord Ram, this is the best time where we can meditate upon Lord Ram and his activities of his devotees, his consort, Srimati Sita Rani. So also Lakshman, who's Shankarshan himself, his servant also, who's incarnation of Lord Shiva, there's Lord Hanuman. So much to learn. But we concentrate upon Lakshmi Puja. That's what we do. We choir on that day, we open our, tijoris, we have our, what do you call it in English? Tijori is called what? What is it called, tijori?
Safe.
Safe. Yeah. Treasure box, basically. Treasure box, We open our treasure box, safe, it's kept in nice in a lock and key. And you open it and take darshan. And after taking darshan, we do the puja. Lakshmi puja, Lakshmi. Everyone does it, At least they are worshipping Lakshmi, Not like others who do not follow the Vedic religion. They are quite obnoxious about money. They put their feet, they stomp on the money, and they do a lot of things. That's not what people who are following Vedic religion do. But still it is wrong because they worship only Lakshmi, see. They have no idea. We have to give them the idea. They're worshipping Lakshmi. That's what Ravana did. He worshipped only Lakshmi. He was not interested at all in worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and his incarnation as Lord Ram. And Lakshmi will not come without Lord Ram. That's why Lakshmi is called Chanchal, because it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam also that her business is to serve the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. And for that, she is very busy and she is very expert. Her eyes are constantly moving and seeing things as to what is needed to be serving, what is needed for Lord Vishnu. And then she performs those activities for the performance, for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So that is her service. That's what she does. And that is the reason why she doesn't stay in one place. So she's constantly moving. And for the service of Lord Vishnu, she's constantly moving. And for the servants of Lord Vishnu, the Vaishnavas, who worship Lord Vishnu as Narayan, as Krishna, for them, Lakshmi is already there because she comes automatically. Krishna is owner of all opulences. When he comes, everything is brightened and purified. In fact, Lakshmi also gets her opulence to Krishna. So, Vaishnavas don't do external endeavors to earn money. Neither they are unduly bothered about whether money will go away. So as long as you worship worship Krishna, Lakshmi will always be there. This is an open secret. The one has to have faith for this, you see. Without faith, there is no point. Without faith, we are as good as atheistic people who themselves have no faith. So test your faith. And when you do Lakshmi Puja this year, you do Lakshmi Narayan Puja. Not just Lakshmi Puja, keep Narayan away. So to that extent, we are all small Ravanas, We are small Ravanas within our own selves, To the extent that we are material, we have got material desires. To the extent we are Ravana. If we have got strong material desire, we have very strong Ravana tendency, demons. If you've got less desire, then we are less Ravana. If you have no desire, then we are no Ravana. But the best way is that to become desireless is to have the desire to serve Krishna. Pastimes of Krishna are very, very nectarian. In fact, pastimes of Krishna are even more beneficial than the opulences of Krishna himself. You see, so with opulences, Krishna comes, His pastimes are performed when devotees are not enamored by the opulences, when they worship him as their friend, as their master, as a lover, as their son. Otherwise, how can Mother Yashoda just chastise, Krishna? How can she chastise? If she thought that, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, or Nand Maharaj thought that my son is Narayan, then how can they have this relationship? Because Krishna's relationship, he reciprocates very nicely along with his devotees. And for reciprocation, he likes to have nice association. And association, if it is enamored or tinged with what do you say? If it is tinged with people who are afraid with his God, then what is the meaning of it? Krishna doesn't like it at all. He doesn't like it at all. Now, in that particular mood, where Lord Ram has appeared in Ayodhya, and we are in Kartik, and we are worshipping Lord Damodar, and we are discussing how Krishna, in his opulence, when devotees, the relationship which he has got is very personal. Is not is free from the conceptions of awe and reverence. God, Bhagwan. He says, I don't like it. He says that, but that doesn't mean we should not do it. We have to do it till the time we have got this pure bhakti, which you will know if you have got. There's nothing artificial in it. We should always be respectful. We must always have that Lakshmi Narayan Swarup, worshipping. And when we are pure enough, that's when we can worship Radha Krishna. So there's a particular pastime, as we know, that Mother Yashoda bound Krishna, in the mortar. Krishna was stealing butter, So, and Krishna is complaining after that, in that particular pastime. And he is telling his father, that's it, enough. He says, I can't take it anymore. So what he's saying, I'm going to recite this particular bhajan first. It's in a different language. This language is actually Brajabuli language. Bengali is mixed. It's very new to me too. I'll read something about, it's a very medieval poet, Gaudiya poet by the name Balaram Das. So Balaram Das is considered by scholars and Vaishnavas to be one of the greatest poets in the Gaudiya Vaishnava literature of Bengal. Unfortunately, however, his identity is unclear. Now, there's one great authority of Brajabuli literature. His name is Sukumar Sen. In his book, A History of Brajabuli Literature, he suggests that probably he is a disciple of Lord Nityananda Prabhu himself. And he was present during most of the famous festivals of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like in Katwa, where Mahaprabhu also took cut off his hair. We will go to Katwa by Krishna willing, it's a very beautiful place. There's a beautiful temple there, and then Khatori around 1582 to 1583, But this is also mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the Adi Leela 1134. So that's where the saint Sukumar Sen, he opines that it was probably Balaram Das. It was mentioned in other Vaishnava Vedan Vandana by Devakinandan Das, as a disciple of Nityananda Prabhu, the writer of songs, great song. So he writes this particular bhajan. It's a different tune. I've tried my level best. I should remember the tune also now. So please excuse me if I go a little offbeat. It's a little, as I said, the language is different and the tune is slightly different, which I'm trying to make sense of it, And Krishna will support me with the mridanga. He's also doing it for the first time. We should practice and doing together. I don't like it, but that's how today was. Danda iya nander age, Gopala kande anurage, bhuka bhaiya pade dhara. Dandiya nandera age, Gopala kande anurage, bhuka bhaiya pade dhara. Na থাকিব তোমার ঘরে আপয়াস দেহ মরে মাহিয়া বলে নানি চোরা নদিয়া ডান্ডা ইয়া নন্দের আগে গোপাল কাঁদে অনুরাগে বুক বাহিয়া পড়ে ধারা না থাকিব তোমার ঘরে আপয়াস দেহ মরে মাহিয়া বলে নানি চোরা ধারিয়া যুগল করে বাঁধিয়া চন্দন ডোরে বাঁধে রাধি নবনী লাগিয়া রমণী হাসে দান্ডিয়া চরি পাশে হয় নাহি দেখো সুরেবায়া আনয়ের ছয়লয়ত তার নাহি খয়া কত মাহিয়া কে বা বাঁধে করে যে বল সবল মরে না থাকিব তোরা ঘরে নে না দুঃখ সহিতে পারে বালাই কয়ছ নাহি মুছা চোর বলে রানী বল মন্দ নারী করি বিচার পরের ছায়োরা লাপাইয়া মারে না আসিয়া ধাইয়া শিশু বলি দয়া নাহি তর অঙ্গদ বলিয়া তর আরয়ত অলঙ্কার আর মণি মুকুতার হর সকল কসায়াল আমারে বিদায় দেহ এ দুঃখে যমুনা বলরাম দাসে কয়া এ কর্ম ভালো নয় দাইয়া গোপাল কর কোড়ে যশোদা আইসা কাছে গোপালের মুখ মুছে অপরাধ ক্ষমা কর মোর দাঁড়িয়া নন্দেরা আগে গোপাল কাঁদে অনুরাগে ভুকা বাইয়া পড়ে ধারা না থাকিব তোমার ঘরে অপয়শ দেহ মোরে মাইয়া কি বলে জানি চোর হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna So the first sentence, first paragraph. So Krishna here is complaining to Nanda Maharaj. He says, Dandiya Nandera Age Gopal Kande Anurage Bhuka Bahya Pade Dhara Natha ki bato mar ghore Apayash deha more Maya Bole Nani Chara. So he's saying that Dandaiya Nandera Age. For Nande, in fact, Nanda Maharaj is saying, Gopal Kande Anurage, Bhukabaya Pode Dhara, Na Thakibo Tomar Gore. Gore means home. Na Thakibo means I'm not going to live in your home. Apayasa Dehar More, inserting Mahaya Bole Nanichara. He's saying that standing in front of Nanda, Gopal is weeping, crying. Tears of mock anger, not real anger, but mock anger. Is crying also with the tears coming, with wetting his breast, coming down his chest, small toddler, He's saying, I shall not stay in your house anymore. What can be more insulting than this? He's telling. A mother calling her son a thief? This is too much, he's telling his father. Then he's saying, Dhariya yugala kore, bandhiya chandana tore, bandhane rani navani lagiya, ahiri ramani hase, dandaya chari pashe, noya noya dekho sudhaiya. He's saying, for a cup of cream, just a cup of cream, the queen tied me by my hands. All the milkmaids stood around and laughed. You can ask others if you disbelieve me. He's saying that. The queen means Mother Yashoda. He's telling his wife, father's wife. Father the king, so his wife. Just for a cup of cream, she tied my hands, he's saying. Ask anybody. I'm not going to stay here in your house anymore, Nanda. Ayera chaya layota karanani khaya kota mahaya keba bandhe kore ye bala se bala more na tha kab na tha ki botora ghole e na dukha sahite par. He's saying too much. So all of the other boys have their full of cream. They got their cream in their houses. Which other mother tied their son? You tell me. He's asking. So all other gopas, they had their cream nice, in their homes. Their mother never tied them. Which other mother tied her son? So whatever you say, I will not stay here. I cannot bear the sorrow and injustice. He's saying like this to his father. He's saying, Balai kaya che nani, micha chora bole rani, bala mada nakori vichara. Hare rachayora lapaya, mare na ashaya dahya, shishu bali doya nahitara. No pity, shishu bali, no doya. He's saying that it was Balai. So Balaram, after all, who had that cream? He had that cream. He ate away, not me. And the queen punished me without any proof, he's saying. He's saying, only because I'm not her own son. That is why she's tying me, calling me a thief. She has no pity, even at my small, tender age. It's so wrong. He's putting his big case against Nanda Maharaj. And he says, Angada baliya tada arayata alankara aramani mukutara hara sakala khasaya laha amare vidaya deha e tukhe yamuna bhava par. He's saying, take away my armlets and all the other jewels. Take away. And yes, take this necklace also away. He's saying, take everything from me and bid me farewell, goodbye. I shall cross Yamuna with pain in my heart. He's telling Nandama. And then concludes, Balaram, he's a poet, he writes his name. The poet writes the name. Balaram Dase Hoya Ekarma Bhala Noyo Daiya Gopala Kore Bokode Yashoda Asya Koche Gopalera Mukha Muche Aparad Kshama Kar More. Balaram is saying now, Balaram Das to Mother Yashoda, please come and save this situation, He's complaining to his father to live now, even with his 40 tears, all this complaining. He said, this does not bode well, this does not bode well. Come quickly, he's requesting Mother Yashoda, and take Gopal on your lap. That poet, the devotee is saying this, Yashoda comes quickly. And hearing this, Mother Yashoda comes quickly and wipes Gopal's eyes, and says, forgive me, my child, for what I have done. And pacifies Krishna. So, standing in front of Nanda Maharaj, little Gopal is weeping, tears of mock anger, not real anger, mock anger, because he's been insulted, were wetting his breast, so much tears. Sometimes you got children, crying so much they cry, He was doing that. So I shall not stay in your house anymore, Nanda Maharaj, the king, What can be more insulting than this? Big word is using, small child. A mother calling her son a thief? For just a cup of cream, the queen tied my hands, by my hands. She tied me by my hands, a culprit, All the maid servants, they stood around me and laughed, You can ask others if you disbelieve me. What wrong has happened to me, been done to me? This is so wrong, But he knows, Nand Maharaj will not believe him also. That's why he's saying this. So all the other boys, he's saying it, further complaining. All other boys have their full cream, they eat. Which other mother had tied their son? You tell me. Whatever you say, I will not stay here anymore. I had said for me, I cannot bear this sorrow and injustice. It was Balai, actually, Balram. It was Balaram, Dau. He stole the cream, not me. And the queen punished me without investigating and finding any proof. But he may have all this, lips are covered with all this butter, but he's a butter thief, But he said, I've not done it. Safed Jute, he lies like this. He can do it, We can't do it. Don't do these things, please, okay? Police will catch you otherwise, put you in jail. So only because I'm not her own son, now here is putting, emotional blackmail, Emotional blackmail. Only because I'm not her son, she has no pity over me at my tender age, Who does this? Take away my armlets, that's it, All these jewels, take away everything. My necklace also take away. Yours, it is yours, so take away. Take away everything from me and bid me farewell, goodbye. I shall cross the Yamuna with a pain in my heart, a painful heart. At this time, Balram Das prays, this does not bode well, Yashoda Bhaiya. Please come quickly and take Gopal in your lap. Yashoda comes quickly and wipes Gopal's eyes, checking, forgive me, my son, my child, for what I have done. This is very ancient. This actually was written in 1963 with a translation. It was done by some, it is found, this particular book, in the South Asian Language Research Program at the University of Chicago in June 1963. Bengali Vaishnava lyrics, it's in that book, page 40 to 41, by Edward C. Dimmock Jr. and Roshan Jahan. They have written this. Also, Sukumar Sen, he's written a book called The History of Brajaboli Literature in the University of Kolkata in 1935. So it's a very old, ancient version. We don't usually do this, but it has come through authoritative sources. And that's why he's a very old scholar, poet, where we don't have much information. You see, so there are many scholars, Vaishnava poets, and very exalted devotees who may remain in background with the devotion, but his nectar flows. This is how Krishna shows his anger at his mother Yashoda. Now, how can he show anger to Mother Yashoda if Mother Yashoda says, yes, God doesn't feel like that. He has to show his relationship with her. So, I just thought that it would be good that we can have this aspect of loving relationship exchange between Radha and Krishna. In the month of Kartik, as we sung, Damodarastakam. Now, this Kartik Mass also has many festivals, I told you, many events took place. Diwali is here. Also, Lakshmi Puja is here. Now, Radha Kund appearance also took place in Kartik. It happened on the last Tuesday, on the 18th of October. A big festival happens in Radha Kund. Radha Kund in Vrindavan, for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it is the most exalted place. That's why in the Nectar of Instruction, Sri Rupa Goswami states this, that of topmost of all the devotion, even more than Vaikuntha, is Radha Kund. Radha Kund is a place where Kund means lake. It's a lake of where Radharani would take bath. Of course, Krishna would bathe with her also. And there's a big, nice pastime about it, We can probably speak, like Gurudev's Extreme call as mercy, on the appearance of Radha Kund, and where all the gopis, they dug the lake, a small lake there, with their bangles. They broke the bangles and dug it. And because it is a place where Radharani takes her bath, which is very important for Krishna. And that's why Krishna accepts and appreciates Radha Kund as much as Radharani. So it is mentioned that if you take bath in Radha Kund, then you can attain the prem of the gopis. One has to be a little careful. Don't just go. Take some devotees with you, some seniors with you, and be respectful. Radha Kund, we went there last time. We did not bathe. Probably next time Krishna will by Gurudev's mercy, we may bathe. Take a small dip quietly. And Radha Kund was also lost completely. It happened 5,000 years ago. And Mahaprabhu came about 400 years later, 4,500 years later. And nothing was there. So there was a Brahmana with Mahaprabhu who was showing him around. He took him in Vrindavan. Vrindavan was basically a forest area. Some people would live there. Paddy fields were there, growing some paddy, So he asked around people, where is Radha Kund? And next to Radha Kund is Shyama Kund, where Krishna bathes. Where is Shyam Kund? Who said, we don't know. Nobody knew. He asked the Brahmana who was with him, do you know Radha Kund, Shyam Kund here? He said, I don't know. So as they were walking in that area, the paddy fields were there, and he found there was a small pond, hardly even a pond. Some water was there, small water reservoir. And he went in ecstasy, total ecstasy when he saw that. And he jumped in the pond, he took bath, he worshipped the pond. And he came out and he danced in ecstasy, meditated on that pond. People were astonished seeing this. He said, this is Radha Kund. And next to it is Shyama Kund. So that's how Radha Kund and Shyama Kund were found, again. And that's the reason why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed his 6 Goswami disciples, Rupa, Sanatan, Gopal Bhatta, Gopal Das, Raghunath, Jiva Goswami, all of them, to say, please go to Vrindavan and excavate all these places of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. That's how they came. And very famous. Even Mirabai went and met Sri Rupa Goswami, And Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami were, even now, if you go to Vrindavan, they're very revered devotees and preachers, and they were the pioneers of Vrindavan. When we go to another very beautiful place called Vrinda Kund, where Vrinda Devi, Tulsi Mata, her place, her kund is there. Now there is a nice temple there, Avinash will all remember. We went there, we taken a photograph also there with that family. And that particular place was also lost. Actually, the field were growing paddy fields there. A devotee later on, he prayed and requested and got the land. And that's when today Radha Kund is situated there. Very nectarian place. Very, very nectarian place. Away from Vrindavan, then it's go towards Gokul, and Barsana. Yeah, very beautiful. There is a place where in the morning, it's a morning place where there are 8 places in Vrindavan where Radha Krishna meet eternally. They meet, even now they meet. And Vrindavan is one of them. In the night, there is Rang Mahal. Yeah, we chanted there too. It's absolute nectar. They gave us, and they place prasadam there, bhoga for Krishna Radha, and they close and lock it. You may have seen some videos, Rang Mahal. And the night, everybody goes from there. It's a big area. The trees are there, monkeys are there. Every day, whole day, monkeys, everyone, crows, everybody is there, making nuisance. In the night, the monkeys go away. You don't believe this. And people who live around that area of Rang Mahal, they even close the doors of the Rang Mahal side. You will see they don't keep the windows open or the balcony open. They don't. They lock it. They close it. And the Pujari that does the last arti and places a nice, makes a nice bed. Prasadam is kept. And then mukhwas is also kept after prasadam. Krishna has, nice mukhwas and all. And when it comes in the morning, early on Mangalarti, everything is gone. Everything is dispersed and all that. Happening since ages. So you cannot even live there in that whole area. So lock the Bahal and the surrounding area, there are many trees. Those trees are very unique trees. Those trees are basically, they don't have life. Normally you see trees which are green, no? Those are not green. They are black trees. And they are down like this, trees. It's like all gopis are there. There are gopis there. And then at night it comes alive with the rasa dance. So this whole area is locked out. Monkeys go out from everywhere. Lock it and they go out. So the temple of the Rang Mahal, and then whole area outside, and they lock the gate also and go out. Nobody goes inside at night. Very beautiful. So devotees during Kartik go to all these places, Radha Kund especially is very significant. And it is said that you must reside in Radha Kund. You must live there in Radha Kund. It's not easy. And by bathing there regularly, that's when your Prabhupada says that you'll have your Siddha Roop, your original Swarup, your identity in the spiritual world in Golok Vrindavan. So Kartik is a very important month. But all this and much more are, take place. So many devotees worship and they take the parikrama of Vrindavan during Kartik, And Krishna willing, and whenever we can, we should also try and go, But wherever we are, all these pastimes, remembering of Krishna, His holy names, this nectar, we can discuss amongst ourselves. And we're already there, We're already there. See, the thing is that devotional service to Krishna cannot be controlled. It's beyond anything. You cannot bound it. You cannot say that if somebody locks up, they chains our hand, closes our mouth, ties our feet. So what devotional service you can do? You can still do by remembering Krishna. You cannot chant his name, but you can remember his names. Enough, as good as that. Shastra says that there are many kinds of arti which takes place. Arti, worship process of Krishna. Physical process and mind process also is equally beneficial. Ultimately, we all want to have remembrance of Krishna, is it not so? Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kaleva Smaran means remembering of Krishna. At the end of our life, if you can remember Krishna, then you can go to his abode. That's why all our lives, devotees' life, every activity is invested on thinking about Krishna and his pastimes. That's all they do. Artificially, they may be doing work, they get married, they have children, they have job, they have business. But they're very aloof, devotees. They're very aloof. They're in it and out of it. And they snatch time at every stage to be in the thought of Krishna. Smaran Mukta Kalevan. Think about Krishna. So, don't try to, nobody can artificially control or check bhakti. Prabhupada says this. And Maharaj says this vehemently. I remember from 2009, Maharaj hammered this point in me. You cannot. Bhakti cannot be checked. Bhakti should not be checked. It cannot be checked. Don't artificially try to check it. 2010, Maharaj performed his disappearance pastimes. So, in bhakti process, preaching is so important for any devotee that for any person, even if they do little bhakti, they will get benefit of it. If there is some purity somewhere, even unknowingly or knowingly also you do, or even unknowingly you will do, you will still get benefit. Bhakti to Krishna. Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, very famous verse, 240, Neha bhikrama naso asti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat Neha bhikrama naso asti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. And a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. See this. He is giving assurance. I'll repeat again what he says. In this endeavor, please, if you can unmute yourself, all of you, unmute yourself and repeat after me. Please. Say, repeat after me. Say, in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. And a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. And as we know, thank you very much. So as we know, the most dangerous type of fear is not getting human birth. And after getting human birth for devotees, the most dangerous type of fear is not having remembrance of Krishna. Now you can mute yourself. Thank you. So, not remembering Krishna, I can tell you, initially, when devotees were starting off, they say, okay, not getting human birth is most dangerous type of fear. Absolutely right. It is correct. As devotees advance, then they understand the biggest treasure they have is this Smaran Mukta Kalevara, remembrance of Krishna. That's why there is festivities that we celebrate. In the Vedic way of life, festivals are related to Krishna, like Diwali is Krishna, Krishna Janmashtami, etc. Whereas other people in the other parts of the world, Western world and all, they've got, what do you call it, that they wear demonic, dress and go out. What do they call it?
Halloween.
Comes soon. Sorry?
Halloween.
Halloween. Nothing really. Halloween. What is Halloween? Wearing like demon and going out. no doubt, demoniac situation. We don't have such things, All things are related to Krishna, and Radha, Ram and Sita, too much. Then there is now the other festival which is celebrated in New Zealand, Australia, and UK, where this guy wanted to blow up British Parliament in 1900s or 1800s, So to commemorate that, they have a festival. They lit firecrackers. And what is it called? What is it called, Krishna?
It's 5th of November, Bruce. Guy Fawkes Day.
Guy Fawkes Day. Right. It's called Guy Fawkes Day. So Guy Fawkes is the name of this guy, Guy Fawkes. He actually went and tried, he went underground and tried to blow up the whole Parliament of Britain. And they're celebrating that every year. And they celebrate during Diwali. So we get Diwali firecrackers in New Zealand throughout the year, every year, It happens now only, Guy Fawkes Day, around that time, So we have got festivities of Krishna. They've got festivals of demonic thing. They wear demon dress, or they go and blow up the Parliament and they're celebrating that. I can't understand it, Seriously, we are so fortunate. But we minimize this. It's very unfortunate for us. We minimize this. We don't appreciate it. So hopefully, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, only Srila Prabhupada has given us this sense to see how valuable our life is, especially those who are born in India. And any person who becomes a devotee of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada's teachings, they get this benefit. Anyone. So, in this endeavor, there is no loss of diminution, Krishna says. And a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So remembrance of Krishna. And what is the most dangerous type of fear here? It is in action. I wanted to discuss that, how it is in action. So, I wanted to see this. There is a Puranic history, old history. Puranas means old, It's not a story. It's a Puranic history of the mouse, the lamb, and the queen. Are we ready for this? Hey, Navina, you ready for this? To hear the story? The mouse, the lamb, and the queen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good. You're not well. What happened to you?
No, my voice keeps changing for some reason.
The voice keeps changing for some reason. Okay. Very nice. Where's Shubhadra? Where's Madhav? We spoke very nicely, Madhav. Are you there? She's gone away somewhere.
Hare Krishna, Babaji.
Let's come now. Okay. Very nice. So now, the mouse, the lamb, and the queen. It's a Puranic history. Jiva Goswami wrote this in his Bhakti Sandarbha. Astu tavat shuddha bhakti abhasasya varta aparadhat vena drushyamano apya aso mahaprabhavo drushyate. So he says that it is seen that the activities of pure bhakti, when performed even without devotional attitude, are still very powerful. So just imagine what will the power of doing it with some devotion. So Srila Jiva Goswami, after making this statement in Bhakti Sandarbha, he cites the following example from the Vishnu Dharmottara Puran. The Puran means ancient history. Of an ordinary mouse, he says. It's a story of ordinary mouse who became a devotee and a queen due to some superficial contact with the Lord. Superficial contact, not direct contact. Mouse became a devotee and a queen by some superficial contact. A similar story is also found in Padma Puran. We will discuss both these stories. Okay, it's very fast. We'll finish it quickly. Now, first, in the Vishnu Dharmottara, Puran. So Markandeya Rishi, he narrates this particular story, pastime. It's a story to King Vajra. He says that the story starts now. In the country of Vidarbha, there lived a king named Chitraratha. Now tell me, how many people are from Maharashtra here? You know Vidarbha? Have you been to Vidarbha? You been to Vidarbha?
We know Prabhuji Vidar. Yeah, we have friends from Vidar. Yeah.
Yeah, but when they speak Marathi, I don't understand a word. Seriously.
Yeah, Khandesh.
I've got high understanding of Marathi. I've got big degrees also, no? For Marathi. Yeah, no, seriously, I can teach Marathi. That was at the time I've done it. And when I heard people from Vidarbha speaking, I couldn't understand a word. I was so depressed, man. And I told my friend, he's a Maharashtrian. I said, he was older to me. I said, Uncle, what are they speaking, man? We were sitting in a train, going to Pune. A super fast train at the time was there. I don't know what it's called. And he said, yeah, they speak Vidarbha Hindi, Marathi. Man, they were all politicians, MLAs sitting there, And what they're speaking, I couldn't understand a word. I was so depressed, man. Seriously, Vidarbha. So this same Vidarbha, it's a very old place. Now you can see all these places in India, Vidarbha, even Surat, in Uttar Pradesh, Naimek Sharanya, all these places, they're so old, they're ancient. So in a country, the story begins, in a country of Vidarbha, there lived a king named Chitraratha. Now he had 115 sons, 115 sons. But he only had one daughter. So obviously she's going to be very pet, Her name was Lalitika, not Lalita, Lalitika. She was endowed with all beautiful qualities, all good qualities, and possessed with matchless beauty. Her father gave her in marriage to a king, a very righteous king of Kashi. You know Kashi? Kashi Vishwanath? Kashi? Again, it was there, so old. He was a very law-abiding king of Kashi, and he had 300 wives. Imagine, we have got one wife, and that's enough. And a wife has one husband, that's enough, He had 300 wives. But Lalitika became his principal queen. Now, beginning from the dark half of the month, there's Ashwina. There's some September, October in India. Till the bright half of the month, there is of Kartik, October, November. So from September, October to October, November, these 3 months, it was Lalitika's daily practice that she would light thousands of lamps, both day and night, in the temple of Vishnu. I'm told even now, I think today or yesterday or tomorrow, they're going to light 1,800,000 lamps in Ayodhya. Where is this? Anybody knows? But man, India, you should know, man. I know from sitting in New Zealand. How come you guys don't know? Where do you live? You don't know. 1,800,000 lamps are lighting in Ayodhya. First was lighted by the Prime Minister, I think yesterday or something. And all the kids are putting up the lamps and all that. You watch news sometimes, man. Don't read only Bhagavatam all the time. Sheh, boring you are. Nonsense. Anyway, back to this first time. So, during this months of Ashwina till the Kartik, end of Kartik, Lalitika should daily practice of lighting thousands of lamps, both day and night, in the temple of Vishnu. So, she also sent lamps to the houses of Brahmanas, at the crossroads, of the highways. Don't think highways are here only, and streets, everywhere. To various temples, at the bottom of holy trees, So beautiful the culture is, so beautiful. at the bottom of the holy trees, the banyan tree and all, on the top of the mountains, on the sandy banks of rivers, and on the surface of the wells, wells also on the surface, top surface, she would place those lamps. Seeing her thus absorbed, in this activity every day, day and night, all the other co-wives, 300 of them, they all were confused. They all gathered around her, and gathered together to ask her. And they asked her, "Oh, fair-eyed lady, beautiful-eyed, Kamala Nayani," something like that, fair-eyed lady, Lalitika, neglecting all other rituals. Many other rituals are there to be performed, of worship. Why you always seem to be keen on lighting lamps in the temples of Vishnu? So we are very curious to know from you why you do this. Can you please explain why you have so much faith in this particular activity? There are so many activities of devotion, in every age. Of course, now chanting is the most important. But at that age, in those times, Lalitika used to worship just lamps. It was her devotion. With great faith, she would do. So when she was asked this question, Lalitika replied, "Oh, auspicious ladies, listen very carefully to my words. As you asked me the question, I will reply to you. And I will tell you why it is that I have this much faith in the fruits of giving lamps. Means to get benefit of giving lamp. I've got so much faith in it. Why? So that worthy daughter of the mountains. Vidarbha, there are mountains there? Is there mountains in Vidarbha? No mountains in Vidarbha?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Because that area of Maharashtra is mountainous, so that's why probably they write, the daughter of mountains. They must have referred to that way, So that was the daughter of the Lord of the Mountains. So that's what they're referring to in the discussion,
Prabhuji, maybe Sahyadri Hills would be.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That could be the case. Yes, Sahyadri Hills. They're always there, so that's why it's the case. Yes, thank you.
But Sahyadri
So
Hills
that's why.
is on the side, no?
Sorry?
Not the other side. Sahyadri Hills are in Pune area.
Pune area.
Yeah. At Vidarbha side, I think there are no mountains.
No mountains? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But probably they're okay. Okay.
There is Prabhuji. There is called Satputra range, northern of Vidarbha.
There we go. I remember Satputra range. I know the Satputra range. That's why I said they cannot make this wrong, So in that Purana is mentioned the daughter of the mountains, She was, oh worthy daughter of the mountains, they say. So that lady, anyway, Lalitika, the worthy daughter of the Lord of the Mountains, she was then worshipping Parvati, who's beloved wife of Shiva, and is famous in the country of Madra in her form of the divine river named Uma Devi. With this particular river, for the blessing of the masses of people, she was called by the Brahmins to descend on the earth, And on her banks, there is a sacred place measuring 8 miles of circumference. I don't know if this river is still there somewhere, Uma Devi, I don't know. The water in that, is it there? Anybody knows this? I don't know. We'll continue. So the sacred place in one of the banks, 8 miles in circumference. So the water of that holy place is considered to contain waters of all the places, from all the places of pilgrimage. Whoever dies there obtains an auspicious result, they say. So this goddess, the goddess destroys sins whenever she is heard, wished for, or seen. Her holy place named Narsimha destroys all sins. In the past, the Lord, who has a combined form of a man and lion, had taken birth there. Narasimha. So in ancient times, the king of Sauvir constructed a temple of Lord Vishnu at that place. The priests there daily worshipped the Lord with flowers, fragrant scents, and offering of lamps, lamps. One evening during the month of Kartik, the lamp that had been offered to the Lord was almost extinguished. It was about to finish, almost done. And the Lalitika said, I was then living in the temple in the body of a female mouse. She said, I thought I'm going to eat that ghee-soaked wick, a ghee wick, lamp, was about to be extinguished. He said, so I seized it in my mouth, But suddenly a cat came. When I seized it, a cat came. And I fled away in fear with the wick in my mouth, So, but by running, the flame, which was burning very light, became very bright as before, It happens, when you put some fire, the wick becomes one big also, This is what happened, The lamp became it became bright now again. He said, and then I met my death with that, And I was reborn as a daughter of King of Vidarbha. So this is why she said, I've got faith in this process of offering lamps. So in this life, she started to offer lamps all throughout the Kartik months. In all these places we discussed. Now we said the similar story is mentioned in Padma Puran also, right? Let's look at that. So in Padma Puran story, in the Uttarakhand, Lord Shiva, he narrates this story, relates this story to Narad Muni. Shows him how important it is, So on the bank, charming bank of Saraswati River, there was a nice ashram, hermitage, known as Siddha Ashram. So formerly a Brahmin by the name of Kapila lived there. He was poor, but very learned in Vedas. And he maintained his family just by begging. There are many ways in which Brahmanas maintain their family. One way is by begging. Second way is by collecting what has been thrown away by merchants, grains. They don't beg, but they do like this. So there are different ways of Brahman. Now it's a different situation. Kali Yuga is very obnoxious. People can't live like that, Because of mobile phone and movie and so many things are there. People like it. The families like it. He'll be killed otherwise, He will be given up by his family members. So anyway, he was very poor. He used to live by begging. He used to worship Lord Vishnu by performing various vows and fasts, austerities. So as part of the worship to the Lord Vishnu, with great devotion, he always lit lamps in his house for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu. Now, a cat with sharp teeth was also living in the house. Day and night, that cat was searching for the mice in the house, and eat them. Ate many of them in the house of the Brahmin couple. Because they live in a thatch hut, Mice come outside, from outside they come inside and all those things, So she ate many mice in Kapil's house. Okay. So on one Ekadashi day, that pure Brahmana and his wife They fasted, they worshipped Lord Vishnu, singing and praying to the Lord and dancing in front of his deity. Kapila stayed awake in the night. Actually, in Ekadashi day, it is said, recommend you can stay awake the whole night for glorification of Krishna. You must do. Some devotees do that. So when it was midnight, the Brahmana was finally feeling very, he overcome by sleep, and he went to sleep. So seeing Kapila had fallen into slumber, the Brahman sleep, the cat quickly came out. Now the cat saw a small female mouse that had come out to eat the wick and drink the oil in the lamp. The mouse came again, take the wick and drink the oil in the lamp. So the cat jumped and attacked the mouse, but the mouse ran away. While running away, although the mouse, she bumped into the lamp with its foot. Now, due to this contact, the lamp suddenly became bright. Now, with the sudden increased light in the lamp, the Brahmana woke up, and he started to continue his night vigil, all night vigil, chanting and dancing for the Lord. The cat also stayed awake throughout the night. And when the sun rose, the Brahmin performed his daily duties, then broke his fast, the Dwadashi fast, along with his relatives. So this Brahman Kapila, magnanimous Brahman Kapila, he obtained many sons and grandsons, as well as grains, excellent health, and abundant riches for his performance of his service to Lord Vishnu. So finally, at the end of his life, Kapila was liberated from this material world due to his practice of offering lamps to the Lord. Now, in course of time, the mouse also died. And a wonderful divine airplane came and took her to the world of Vishnu, the small she-mouse. The cat also eventually died, met his death. And for the cat, an excellent airplane came, surrounded by celestial beauties, accompanied by hosts of Vidyadhars, and began praising with auspicious cries of victory as he went to the world of Vishnu. You see, it is said, I was told by a devotee, it is said that in Garud Puran, it is mentioned that for an ordinary person who leads life of sin, he is taken by the Yamdutas, dragged and pulled out from the body. For him, it is painful for the jiva when pulled out. But what is more painful for him is that while being dragged, when he sees some devotee who leaves his body and joyfully is taken with pomp and ceremony, Hare Bol, cry of victory. He's taken like this to Golok Vrindavan and Vaikuntha, and this guy has been dragged this way. That is more painful. So like this, the cat also went to the world of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. After enjoying many pleasures there for hundreds of millions of years, that former cat took birth on earth as a king named Sudharman. Now this Maharaj, the king Sudharman, was religious minded, because previous birth was cat, went back to Vaikuntha. He regularly worshipped the Lord and the Brahmins. And he was very handsome, very brave, and very strong, He had a beautiful wife whom he loved very much. She had all auspicious marks on her body and was very devoted to her husband and was of a very good character. Her name was Rupa Sundari. So the king's name was Sudarman, and the wife's name was Rupa Sundari. And she was the most beautiful among all the ladies present there. And the many sons and daughters were born to them, to the union. So while the couple was just enjoying each other's company, the month of Kartik arrived. During that month, lamps are lit by those who are devoted to Vishnu. One day, the king said to the queen, "Today is the auspicious Prabodhini Ekadashi." So Prabodhini Ekadashi is also called Hari Bodhini Ekadashi or Utthana Ekadashi. I think we call it Utthana Ekadashi. No? So it is the last Ekadashi of the Vaishnava month of Kartik. Utthana, waking of the demigods worship. It's a very famous Ekadashi, Utthana Ekadashi. Utthana. I think even in Pandharpur the yatra happens. Is it not so? And do this Ekadashi? Let's continue. So he says, because it's the last Ekadashi of Kartik, it marks the end of Lord Vishnu's 4 months of slumber, of his resting 4 months. They are called Utthana Ekadashi. We also known as Chaturmasya. So that's what it is. He's waking up. With my senses controlled by fasting, today I will bathe in the holy place Pushkar, he said. And worship the imperishable lotus-eyed Lord of gods, along with his consort Lakshmi. I want to go to Pushkar. And there's a Pushkar Mela also, big pilgrimage takes place every year, in a holy place. He said, I'm going to go there. Hearing these nice words, Rupa Sundari was always engaged in worshipping her husband, chastefully. She replied, "O king, I want to come. I desire to go with you to the sacred place of Pushkar." Then the king and the queen, accompanied by groups of elephants, horses, chariots, and family priests, came to Pushkar. The king took his bath and worshipped the Supreme Lord Vishnu, who was very beautiful and charming in the temple, of his temple. It flows through many rows of lights everywhere. So the Lord was standing very charmingly beautiful in this charming temple, beautiful temple, and there were full of rows of lights everywhere, the lamps, And the king suddenly saw, Ashara Ekadashi. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mayuresh Prabhu. Yes. So the king, by seeing that lights, rows of light everywhere, the king suddenly saw a drawing of a cat. Upon seeing that picture, the king remembered his former existence, looked at the lotus face of his beloved wife and smiled. Sometimes you smile, The wife was puzzled, Why is he smiling at me like this? So Rupa Sundari said, "Oh my lord, why did you smile at me, looking at me like this, What is the reason for it?" The king replied, "In my previous birth, I was a cat in the house of a Brahman. There I ate hundreds of mice. Even though my intention was to catch the mice to eat, since I saw the result was that I guarded the lamp in front of Lord Vishnu, I got the fruit of that deed, O queen. And I first attained the world of Vishnu, and now I have obtained the kingdom of here on this earth." He said, "I was just eating mice, But because I was guarding the lamp of Lord Vishnu in front of Lord Vishnu, when I died, I was taken to the world of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha, and now obtained this kingdom on earth. Rupa Sundari heard this. She also saw the lights. She said, I too have gained recollection of my former existence. She remembers. I was a small female mouse in the house of Brahman. Once on the Prabodhini Ekadashi in Kartik, when the lamp had become dim, I came out of my hole to snatch the wick so I could eat it. Emerging from the hole, I saw the deity of Vishnu decorated with flowers, and the Brahmin overcame with sleep, Kapil Muni was sleeping. You in the body of cat jumped on me and attacked me. I saw you and I ran back into the hole. In doing so, my foot struck the lamp and it made the wick suddenly burn brightly. She said, Oh Lord, my Lord, because since I have brightened the lamp in that way, I have now secured excellent beauty, obtained you as my husband, and also gained a kingdom, sons, and great happiness. Due to my inadvertent brightening of the lamp, means not knowingly, inadvertently, I secured knowledge that is extremely difficult to obtain by the fruit of even unconsciously offering a lamp to Vishnu. We have been blessed to remember our former existences, and all our sins have perished. After this discussion, the king and queen, with great faith, performed the rituals of offering lamps to Lord Vishnu in the holy place of Pushkar. As a result, the two of them obtained salvation, which is very difficult for even demigods to obtain. Thus, bhakti is so powerful that even a slight touch of it possesses great power. You see? And as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 40, Neha Vikrama Nashavasti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swarpamapyasa dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhayat. The translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. And little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Hare Krishna. Jai. I thought we should have this nectarian pastimes and understand that activities that we have been doing, such great opportunity Srila Prabhupada is bestowed upon all living beings. So why don't we take the benefit and give benefit to others? That's what we are seeing now with Avinash Prabhu and his team. They are giving opportunities to so many devotees. Unknowingly, they are securing their birth again, and devotion begins. It's so powerful. Bhakti is so powerful. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Hare Krishna. So I finished in time so that all of you can watch the cricket match. Otherwise, people will say, my time is up. India, Pakistan is there. What is going on? It's not going to rain also. I've been keeping an eye on the weather gods. The weather gods are favoring. There's going to be a game. So don't worry. That can happen. We concentrate here, for time being, Yes. Hare Krishna. Happy Kartik to all of you. You see, one lamp you offer, Krishna never forgets. Guru Maharaj said once to me, in Gujarati there's a saying, He says, Koi no bhar na rakhe murari amrish. He said, Krishna, he never keeps anyone's favor. he gives it back 1,000 folds. Murari, the killer of the Mura demon. Koi no bhar na rakhe Murari. You know, what service I was doing. Something happened. Now saying, Maharaj, this is what happened. Maharaj, this is what happens. Krishna reciprocates. What nonsense I must be doing? Nothing really. So yeah, Hare Krishna. Now in case, yeah, okay. Anyone has to say anything? Please feel free.
Sorry, you cut out.
Hari Bol, sorry.
Okay, I think it's clear now. You actually breaking quite a lot, because you couldn't hear what you said.
Okay, okay. Well, did you hear the whole story then? Whole past?
Just the last.
Yes, Prabhuji, after that, yeah.
Okay. I was talking about Guru Maharaj saying this, Kono Bhar na Rakhe Murari. Krishna doesn't keep anyone's favor, he returns it back. So remember this in your life, and whenever you meet somebody, you always go from the person giving him something. Always remember this. Yes, we take something, but give something back in some way, shape, and form. I believe in that in my life, and it has helped me. Hopefully, it will help you. Don't be egoistic about it. Just keep that, Life. Always try to give in a balance. Try to always have something which you can give back. Keep it equal. Of course, you cannot give back to people whom you have, the many who cannot do it. But as many you can do. Yes. Now, anyone wants to say anything? Please feel free.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for talking about those beautiful stories. And Vrindavan, Radha Kund, Sham Kund, and Vrinda Kund, those memories came to our mind. And also about this importance of offering those ghee lamps. Prabhu, this Govardhan Leela, that is also happened after 2 days after Diwali. So that is also actually Kartik one?
Second day. Yeah, that's what. Second day after Diwali, Govardhan.
So that is also not by chance. That is by purpose.
Yes.
Nothing happens by chance in this spiritual world.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, Shilabha, do you have a question?
You go ahead, Prabhuji. I'll ask later.
Okay, thank you. I had a question about, so the Damodar pastime, the Damodar pastime, what, do we know what exact day of the month it was in terms of Kartik?
Exact Diwali day. On Diwali day.
Right, okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, anybody else wants to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You're mute, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Thank you, Ambrish Prabhuji, for narrating those two stories from the Puranas, histories, So, it's very actually, as you said, Krishna do not keep anybody's favor. And as you narrated in the stories, actually in both incidents, I think that service was done unintentionally towards Lord Vishnu. So still, actually Krishna reciprocate to each service, So as you rightly said, that Prabhupada has given this opportunity to everyone to chant his holy name, and everyone is actually given chance to offer the diya to Lord Damodar as well. So is that, Prabhuji, those two stories, are they exceptional, or is that actually the mercy of Krishna is always towards his devotees? He reciprocated in the same way.
No. It's always done.
Always, yeah.
Just as Rupa Goswami says, that if what he says in the Sanskrit, the English translation is that in the first thing which I mentioned, hold on. Astu tavat shuddha bhakti abhasasya varta aparadhatvena da drishyam mano api aso maha prabhavo drishyate. It is seen that the activities of pure bhakti, when performed, even without a devotional attitude, are still very powerful. So that's it. Everybody has a chance to go back to Godhead.
I do not understand one point, Prabhuji. Why it is actually those incidents is called pure bhakti, even they are unintentional?
Doesn't matter, Prabhuji. The process that was used was of pure bhakti. See, Krishna, the first demon to come and kill Krishna was Putana. She came to kill Krishna, smearing poison in her breasts, feeding Krishna. So Krishna did not see that this person has come to poison me. She saw, oh, she's giving me breast milk, That's what he saw. How much, because we do not have that one-on-one personal relationship, we do not understand and appreciate the loving nature of God towards everyone. That's why a pure devotee means what? Devoted. Devoted meaning what? They see from the point of view of Krishna. So he gave her Saruja Mukti. It's mentioned Bhagavatam. Went back to Godhead. Why not? We should have firm faith in this. So the process, directly or indirectly, it works. It may not work for the demigods, but Krishna, it works. That's why I say prasadam, if you distribute prasadam, somewhere it works. Some impression is given, something favorable they do. They were not anti-Krishna, the cat and the mouse. Okay. But they were neutral to Krishna. They were doing their own business. But this is how it is. So we should not do things which makes us anti-Krishna. Then we are on safe side. It's very rare to be a devotee. That's why I always say, an honest preacher, he may not be a very big preacher, but he is very honest and thorough and sincere. Be very careful with that person. Don't mess around. Because Krishna is interested, because the parampara is interested. You never know what are they thinking. Once one person is, I remember, I must have narrated this story to you before, So, Srila Bhakti Sarana Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, when he would give classes in Kolkata, one person used to come in his lectures and always ask challenging questions, And all his Prabhupada's disciples were not happy with him. He was always asking challenging questions, etc. And he would answer the question, Srila Prabhupada. One day he stopped coming and did not come at all. And then somebody found out and he told Prabhupada, that person has to come He died now, passed away. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he cried, to say, why are you crying, Prabhupada? He said, this person taught me patience. So you never know what a person is thinking, whatever he thinks. We may think in one way, they think in a different way. So they never know. You just never know. Small work done, small service done, great benefit. That's why I say this bank balance never diminishes. You may not get the next birth as high birth, but Krishna knows best for us. He's planning our way, go back to Godhead. He's planning our way back to Godhead. We don't know this. He's chalking out our plan. As long as if we don't add our karmas to this, the plan will work for him. He has a plan for everyone. Krishna has a plan for everyone. As long as we are dependent on his plan and don't instill our plan on him and force it upon him, he'll then say, okay, no problem. It's up to you. Is that all right? Is the answer okay for you?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, anybody else want to say anything before we finish?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Bol. You got
Yes,
two devotees
Prabhuji.
saying?
Yes, Prabhuji, my question was that the cat who had died, so after he died, he went to Vaikunt Lok, right? So once he went to Vaikunt Lok, why did he come back again? Why did he take birth again as a king? Why did he not just stay there?
Congratulations. I was waiting for this question to be asked. I wanted to see who's sleeping, who's not. So good, you're awake. Right. I'll give you an answer for that. It's a little technical answer. At this stage, it's a bit, but because I narrated the story, so I'm obliged to answer the question. Okay. The thing is this, how can someone attain the Lord's abode and then return to the material world? Krishna says in chapter 15, verse 6, Yad Gatvana Nivartanti Tad Dhama Paramam Mama. He says, once attaining my abode, one never returns to this material world. But we know, yes and no, he can come also. Because we've got free will, So the permanent nature of residence in the spiritual world is described by Srila Prabhupada. This particular Vaikuntha it is described in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhāgavatam that there's an abode in other Puranas and other Puranas also. There's an abode of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, within the material universe. That planet is sometimes referred to as Prapanchika Vaikuntha. Prapanchika means consisting of 5 material elements. Okay, there are many descriptions of person returning that place and then returning to the material world. Okay, so there's a particular Vaikuntha planet in the material world for Prapanchika also. So people can go there and come back. So these living beings did not go back to Vaikuntha, which devotees go. Now this clarifies questions for many of you. Even for Srila Prabhu, the question would answer. The answer would satisfy his query. There was a difference between a devotee who's working so hard and a person who's doing this, and he gets a benefit. And he gets material benefit also after that. But for a devotee, he doesn't want to come back. He doesn't go even to the material world, he goes back to Godhead and doesn't come back. So that where they went is understood to be a Prapanchika Vaikuntha, as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas. Is that okay? That's why you see, you got the answer. All right?
Yes.
Jai. Jai. So there's a difference between where the cat and the mouse went and they came back. That's not where devotees go. So open your eyes. Don't think I'm a tutor who always, this is my way of taking examinations. So you have to think on your feet when you deal with me. I'm foolish man, that's what I am. So now the whole story falls into place. Yeah, now I understand what it is, where devotees go, where devotees not go, what is this, what is that. That's why I give the roundabout answer to Avinash, to Sri Prabhu. Although right answer, but I give the answer. All right. Is it okay, Swami Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, great. Great. Okay, any other questions? Anyone else? Want to say something, please? Feel free.
Just Prabhuji, just further clarification on this Prapanchaka Vaikunt, where you say there are these 5 elements of material nature in that Vaikunt. Is that that's why?
Don't go too deep into right now. When you study Srimad Bhagavatam, it will come to you. But for now, be ready because it's in the material world. Okay. It's in the material world. That's why it's called Prapanchaka. It may not be of 5 elements. It's spiritual, but still, it's within the material world. That's why it's called that way. It's that Vaikuntha. That's why I'm not giving the reference also. That's why I'm not giving the verse number also of that Vaikuntha. Because it's a bit further for, if you study from the previous, you'll understand it better. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, I think it will come later on. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it will. All right. Anyone else? Okay. Wonderful. Thank you very much. We will conclude the discussion today, and we wish all of you a very happy Diwali and very happy Kartik as well. I'm sure all of us will be very now enlivened in performing our Damodar prayers to Krishna in Kartik. I'm sure I will be, and Krishna willing, we can go where we really belong, Yeah. Hare Krishna. All right. So now who's going to sing today? Whose turn it is? It was, who was singing there? No?
It's Subhadra's turn.
It's Subhadra's turn. Okay. All right. Subhadra's turn. Okay, Subhadra, Hare Krishna. कैसे ठीक है आप?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Madhav. Hare Madhav, you spoke very nicely, man. Very good. You must get a laddu today.
He's learning.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. You will get a laddu today.
Also, so once he will be fluent, so let him sing as well. Prayer.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Wonderful. Yes. All the best. Okay, let's start. 1, 2, 3, start.
Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
And today for you we will sing.
If our room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean,
If our mind is clean,
we can do anything.
we can do anything.
If our
Room.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
And if we are dirty,
And if we are dirty,
we're not happy.
we're not happy.
Wasting time
Wasting time
is the greatest crime.
is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Because wasted time
means a wasted mind.
means a wasted mind.
So best is your time
So best use your time
when you're in your prime.
when you are in your prime.
In your whole life,
And your whole life
will be sublime.
will be sublime.
If your wealth is gone,
If your wealth is gone,
then there is nothing wrong.
then there is nothing wrong.
But if your health is gone,
If your health is gone,
then that's a different song.
that's a different song.
If your character dies,
If your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior,
Only saintly behavior
let humanity thrive.
lets humanity thrive.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We must always remember Krishna.
We must always remember Krishna
And never forget him too.
and never forget him too.
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
That is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question.
And here's the greatest clue.
And here is the greatest clue.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely.
So listen very closely
And make your thinking sharp.
and make your thinking sharp.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
There's something due tomorrow.
Something's due tomorrow.
Finish it today.
Finish it today.
Whatever's due today.
Whatever's due today,
Do it now. Don't delay.
do it now, don't delay.
Your friends might be lazy.
Your friends might be lazy
Or doing bad things.
or doing bad things,
But you think again.
but you think again,
Don't follow them.
don't follow them,
And you will win the end.
and you will win the end.
Whatever work we're given,
Whatever work we're given,
we do our very best.
we do our very best.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, I'll see Krishna every day.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, see Krishna every day.
When the time is up, he'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
Chant Krishna's name and glories and his fame. He's the only way this world will ever become sane.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. It's the only way this world will ever become sane.
Now please ask this greatest question
Now please ask this greatest question
and find this greatest clue.
and find this greatest clue.
You can only remember Krishna
You can only remember Krishna
if Krishna remembers you.
if Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai.
His Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev ki Jai.
Jai.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai. Shri Kartik Maas ki Jai. Shri Dipavali Mahotsav ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutala Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutala Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharya Nirvishesh Shunyavari Pracharya Sarani. Hare Krishna. Before we go today, now why Navina is not raising her hands? Normally she does so, saying whose turn it is now. Now I'm exposed now, I don't remember it. So if she raises her hand, I can blame her, man, that she confuses me. Now everybody knows I don't remember it. So it's not her fault. Yeah.
It's not my fault. It's just the thing
Where's
I was
Navina?
eating upstairs.
Oh, you are eating upstairs. You should not eat upstairs when you're singing, before we sing. I should blame you, You check and say, Navina, when she raises her hand, I get very confused. So I need somebody to blame, Otherwise my intelligence will be then exposed, I'm not very clever, I don't like it, All right. Oh, yes, Parth Prabhu. So what happened, you tell me, after you were not bowing down to your God, that in the temple of Amitabh Bachchan God, He says to the priest said, bow down to him. He said, no, I'm a devotee of Krishna. I don't bow down to these fake people. He said, yeah. So he presses the button and this God in the temple, Amitabh Bachchan, stands up and he says, Rishte mein to hum tumhare baap lagte hain, pair pado. Then what happened? I created this story, So it is true, there's a temple. Usse baad kya hua? Let's add something more. Then we add something more next week. Then what what happened then? Did you stand up? Did you bow down? No, I'll tell you what happened after that. I'll tell you what happened then. It is true story. And what happened that is that when he stood up and forced you to do that because you're a devotee of Krishna, now he has a pain in his leg. He has got to have a vein problem in the leg. It's in the news today. I was thinking, what should we do further? So that's what happened. All right. So don't mess with devotee. This is just this story. This is our. It's not really what happened, but he has got a pain, that is for sure. That is true. So we wish him well. At the same time, we wish that he tells his people that he is not God, and that there should not be temple in his name. So all those things. So very nice. All right. Let's try and milk a bit more. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we'll see you, Krishna willing, next week, same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.